What an amazing spot. What an amazing spot. Pity the gate gets locked at 6 o'clock. So it says on the notice. No, strictly no overnight parking. Strictly. I managed to find a little pull in. See the sea. Just at roadside. The place I was going to camp was foiled by overnight parking and the gate shut at 6 o'clock sign, which pissed us off. It was a lovely spot. Lovely spot. So I've ended up at the roadside, cooking breakfast. It's a morning after, by the way. We'll change location today. Head further up the coast. But there's a small matter of a breakfast to sort out. Get back. This is what you begin to see when you're on the road, when you live on the road. Everywhere you go. This particular stretch of road here down there, sea houses. Coming through sea houses, a lovely view of the beach and that. It's yellow lines all the way down both sides. You come to an area just out of the town, you think, oh, I'll park here. And then you see these sort of signs. They're just sort of like, they're trying their best to fuck you off, really. There's car parks in town just to get money out of people, and they won't let you park anywhere, and then they just try to stop everybody having any kind of enjoyment. I wish I was doing this 20 years ago. There was none of this around, none of these stupid signs. It's just a bad time to do this sort of thing in this country. I'm beginning to dislike it. See these beers. Part of control. These beers are made a certain length. They're not very long. They're meant for cars. They try to stop a campervan from parking here. Basically, that's why they're like this. They've made them wide enough for your doors to open each side, and the average size campervan would struggle to park here without blocking the road, because they won't allow you to go any further forward to get your vehicle in. Little sign plaques on there saying no overnight parking. It's a way of controlling people that don't like any kind of scene of beauty in this country. There's either a farm built on it, it's privately owned, or they just stop you parking there. They just don't want you. They want you sitting in your house at home in bed. They don't like any kind. It's a way of controlling you. They don't like any kind of freedom. You find that out when you're campervan and you're just driving around and you're just seeing places where you could possibly park, and there's signs up and there's yellow lines or whatever. It's just they just don't want you enjoying yourself. They just want you sitting there watching the television at home, paying your TV licence and your council tax. That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? It's you see more of it. You see more of it when you're on the road. We'll take that.
Matchday Live comes to you from Newcastle, who face Huddersfield. Ray Parlour is at the London Stadium for a meeting between two of the bottom four as Southampton go to West Ham. And Ray Houghton's watching Brighton, who still aren't safe, take on Leicester. And Swansea's game at Man United, that's live on TalkSport 2 at 3. It's another massive Saturday. ladies and gentlemen.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, with his trainer, Kevin Barry, wearing white with black. He stands 6 feet 4. His official weight, 16 stone, 12 pounds, 7 ounces, equivalent 236.5 pounds. His professional record is a perfect one. 24 fights, 24 victories, including 18 wins by knockout. He is the fighting pride of New Zealand, the reigning, defending, undefeated WBO heavyweight champion of the world, Lumiso AI, La Ole Ole Mariatoa, Joseph Hooker. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner with his trainer, Rob McCracken. He's wearing white and stands 6 feet 6, officially weighing in at 17 stone, 4 pounds, 2 ounces, equivalent 242, 1/4 pounds. This Olympic gold medal champion now, as a professional, has a perfect record. 20 fights, 20 victories, 20 wins by knockout. He is the heavyweight fighting pride of the United Kingdom, the reigning, undefeated WBA, IBF, IBO heavyweight champion of the world, AJ Anthony.
Also, Anthony Joshua. Third night, or the third location, not doable. You come to realise, living a life like this, the council are making it more difficult everywhere you go. I don't want you to park up overnight. I don't want you to do anything. Don't want you to do anything. I don't know if you can see that, but I'll read it out to you. The washing, cleaning, repairing of vehicles, camping, cooking and sleeping is prohibited in this car park. Any persons undertaking these activities are committing an offence. Sounds like an offence to you? Fucking joke. Fucking joke. This is the location for the night. It's Sunday night and it's the 1st of April. It's no April Fool. It's real camping. We're number 1. I'll see you there. I didn't bother filming last night because it was I ended up in a local spot where I would normally be for like when I'm like at work. So I didn't even bother filming it because I ended up coming back down my area last night. I like packed up and left the Northumberland coast. Just felt a bit uneasy with the no camping stuff and all that, like the no overnight parking and nothing. So I just came back down the area where I normally live. I was out and forced to change, to stop people parking and sleeping in cars and stuff like that. They just don't like it. They like you sitting in the home, paying your TV license and your council tax, watching soap operas. They don't like you being out in the car at night. I found that over the years. I used to sleep in my vehicle and I was always getting bothered by police and stuff like that. They just want you to be at home. They don't like you being out at night. And the council must hate it. They must hate the campervanners getting away with it. So they put these height barriers in and everything to try and stop them. I mean, example, the other day up Northumberland there was an area what just used to be a bit of land, really a bit of wasteland along a track overlooking the coast, where people just used to park the cars. But to stop it, they put like a fence, like wooden posts all the way along, and then they made a little bay area where people used to park, and they made it divided into bays, just long enough for a car, so you couldn't like park a camper in, because you couldn't get it any further forward from the road, because where they made these bays, and they made sure to put a label on as well about no overnight parking. They go the extra mile to try and stop it. See, they're just getting worse. I wish I'd done this like 20 years ago. It would have been totally different than what it is now. Anyway, I moved away from the North Yorkshire coast. I'm the North Yorkshire moors now. I'm not getting any trouble here. I've got company actually. Somebody with the same thing in mind probably has trouble parking places. I mean, they can't really regulate down here like they can in the coast and that. There's just so many places you can park, really. It's only sort of unspoilt land left, really. Anywhere near towns and that, they've just got it there. They've just got it sort of blocked off and putting their restrictions up. Anyway, of beauty, really. I mean, this is bleak, but I don't mind the bleakness. I used to come places like this in my tent and I didn't mind the bleakness. I don't mind the bleak weather. I mean, I love the rain. I like the wind. I like the shaking of the campervan and the wind. It just rocks us to sleep. Just like it all. I like the sound of the rain on the roof. I did in the tent as well. I mean, once you're inside, you just it's your little haven, isn't it? Your little safe den. Don't know if you can see the sea over there. You probably. That's the sea over there. Whitby, you'd be just down that coast there, further down Whitby. Not far. Anyway, the date is Sunday the 1st. It's 7:30 at night. I'll be cooking in probably about an hour. I'll be getting the kitchen on. There's Wild Campervan kitchen. We'll get back to you. It's 8:30 on April Fool's Day. But this is no April Fool. Added a few onions in there just to give that a bit of flavour. Should do it there. Time to add this stuff in. There's potatoes in there as well, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to slice them up so they cook quicker and just throw the rest of it in. Right, where we're at. That's what we've got. Give that another about 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Going to add a bit of that in. Take the lid off first. Helps. I'm not sure how much to put in, but I think we'll try that. I'm going to let it simmer. If I need to thicken it up, I'll put a little bit more in. And let that simmer a bit longer. I believe that could be done. I believe that could be done. What do you say? What do you say? Yum, 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 yum. Can't wait to tuck into that. Can't wait. Wow. Oh, it's one of the best. One of the best I've ever made. One of the best I've ever made. I've made a few. Oh, it's got to be the Bisto. Oh, Bisto. It's one of the best. In fact, I would say, I'll actually say it is the best. Beats any steak. Best lamb casserole I've ever tasted. Good back to you. Time to get out of here. Got a couple of friends here. I'm just going to have to assess the snow situation. If it gets too bad, I'll have to head out because I might get stuck on the road on the way in. So I need to there's a little bit coming down here at the moment, but if it gets any worse, I'll have to head out. I'm not really that high up, but hopefully it'll turn to rain, but depends how cold it gets tonight, I suppose.
Champions League live on Talk Sport 2 with Star FM. This Wednesday night from 7 to a full-match penalty with Barcelona versus Roma. Barcelona versus Roma. This Wednesday night from 7 to Sport City with Direct Line. Tradesman, if you already have Direct Line van insurance, we'll give you 10% off your public liability insurance. Interactive with only a million premium deposit. On average, companies send us wait 2 minutes for someone to start talking. So, it's less than 3 hours till tonight's Star Vegas bonus time.
Between 9 and 11 every night, our unlimited bonus zone is guaranteed to trigger in Star Vegas bonus time. Only at Star Vegas and expect more. 18 plus and
Don't get me wrong, he scored on Friday night and I was absolutely chuffed to bits that we'd got the victory on Friday night, but we are just still at the game. When the team restarted this game, there was no real interest, but when it comes on, and possibly disappeared, and now is set to continue causing some disruption.
To play intense game under pressure. They've got referees, I would imagine, I've seen before.
Well, it's a final night, the bank holiday weekend, a long bank holiday weekend. Finished work on the early shift Thursday last week. I came in on the Friday, Good Friday, for 4 hours overtime. Went straight camping after work. Disappointments every day really with the overnight parking and stuff like that. You can't even check the locations out online now because when you get there it's usually different. They've usually put signs up. Even when you can't see them online, they seem to get in there and put them up, like so they know you were coming. I know the images on Google are like usually a few years old, so you can't really go off them like. Well, there's always alternatives if you look around. I found a nice spot the first night at the side of a road. It was the only little place I could have parked where I could have got a sea view. It was just happened to be like just a gap there, and I just managed to get into it. I don't know if that was the first night or the second night. I think it was the first night. The second night was further up the coast, and that was no overnight parking either. I don't know if I come home after that. I didn't come home. I come down in my home area. I just camped out in the home area. And this is like the third night. I think it's the third night. No, it's the fourth night. Because last night I was on the Yorkshire Moors. Luckily, last night I just happened to check the forecast. I haven't been doing that lately, but with us being in the camper van, it doesn't really matter so much, you know. I just happened to be on Google News and I seen a weather alert. there was going to be a lot of rain coming in and snow on high ground, which I was on high ground, and I thought, fucking hell, if it snows up here, I'll not get off the place, you know what I mean? So I was a bit apprehensive. I was waking up during the night and I was looking out the window. I'd done it quite a few times, and there was no snow, and I thought, well, it's going to come soon. And the last time I checked was like 6 in the morning, and there was a good covering, as you've already seen on the video. So it actually, so I was a bit. I thought, well, I had to get off the. I have to get off now. You know what I mean? If I stayed any longer, I might have gotten stuck. There was another camper van there, which I feel guilty about not like telling them, because they might have woke up a few hours later, and the snow might have been a lot deeper, and they might have struggled to get away. See, but I feel guilty not actually like alerting them. You know what I mean? When I woke up. I mean, they look like experienced campers. You'd think they would think of things like that, but they look like they've been doing it a while, like. But anyway, tonight I'm more local tonight. I'm only about 15 miles from my like home location. But I'm still a little wary about snow. I mean, I'm not as high up. But I could be in trouble getting out of here if it snows. But I think it's raining now anyway, so that'll just dissolve all the snow anyway. So. Anyway, it's been a good weekend. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm Deerswell Camperman. We'll see you on the next video.